Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and financial advisors around the world. I am Bill Winterberg of FPPad.com, and I'm broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. And today with me today is a gentleman by the name of Mike Naef, founder and CEO of a company called Doodle. Mike, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you're my first international guest, so Mike, why don't you tell the viewers from where you are connected with me?
So I'm proud to be your first international one. We're from Zurich, Switzerland.
Excellent. Now, walk me through the history of Doodle. Some advisors know about it because I had recommended a public calendar service called Tungle, but it shut down on Monday and is no longer active. And I've been looking for alternatives, and one of those alternatives has been Doodle. Tell me about the history of Doodle and how you've brought your product to market to help solve a problem that all professionals have.
Uh-huh. I'll gladly do. The whole history started in 2003, and it started out of my own personal need and pain because I needed to schedule a date for dinner with a couple of friends, and it was very, very tedious process. So that was when the idea was conceived to build something like Doodle, a service that tries to make the whole process more efficient. And from that on, for the first couple of years, I worked at Doodle as a hobby. I always had my day job. And in 2007, we founded the company and built the team and the product the way it is today, and are now, from all we know, the leading service in that space with more than 10 million users a month.
That's impressive. Now, I actually looked back in my email history to see the first time that I had used Doodle, and I found back in 2008 I had used Doodle to schedule a social meeting between other young financial professionals in my local area at the time. So this was one circumstance where we needed to set a date for this social that involved dozens of participants. So I turned to Doodle almost 4 or 5 years ago now as a way to help efficiently coordinate that. And now you've expanded beyond this meeting gathering. You now have some personal pages. Can you talk to me about the personal pages you've added to Doodle?
Absolutely. That's really the second product that we introduced, which focuses on the one-on-one scheduling use case. So it's organized around the personal URL. In my case, that would be doodle.com/Mike, and we see your page here. And on that URL, you publish your own availabilities, but of course only the free busy information to the public in general. And whoever wants to meet with you just has to go there, enter a title for the meeting, and point and click a couple of options that will work for them. And you'll afterwards get a couple of options to handle this meeting request. So you can either accept one of the slots, or decline all of them, or request different options. Or you can also silently ignore all of them, which is sometimes important too, because in some cases you just don't want to accept an appointment request at all, but you also don't want to start a discussion about it, right?
Right, right. So what kind of success are you seeing with the one-to-one calendar, particularly in financial services, but also among other professionals? Since you've launched it, how much use have you really seen out of it?
We have seen very decent use. You have to understand that the group scheduling use case that we started with, that's really the major use case for our service. So, and the Meet Me use case, the one-on-one, is slightly more advanced. So for that, we since launch, we've had like a couple of tens of thousands of users who've started using this service. But that's still to be considered a success because the users that decide to go for the Meet Me product, they're more the professional users. So in your industry with financial advisors, I guess there's a lot of people who will make good use of that service because they need to do a lot of scheduling, and I guess a lot of one-on-one scheduling with their clients and customers or partners that they have to meet up with either initially or on a regular basis.
Now, Mike, you talked about the one-on-one element of Doodle. Are you thinking about enhancing Doodle's capabilities so that you can, perhaps in a financial advisor's office, they have 2 or 3 meeting rooms, and possibly two or all three of those meeting rooms may be busy, and so the advisor might be available to meet, but the resource, that meeting room, is occupied. So by default, that advisor is not really ready to meet. Are you thinking about ways to incorporate resources and other types of conditions into the one-on-one scheduler?
We currently don't support the resources. We decided to take a different step as the first step. So we just recently introduced the next evolutionary step of Meet Me, so to say, which is called Book Me in our case, and that's still about the one-on-one use case, but it's more like business to consumer rather than consumer to consumer. So with Book Me, you're able to configure the types of services that you offer and all the employees that offer which kinds of services, and the customer can just go on your Book Me page and select one of the services, gets displayed which of your employees is able to offer these services, and then gets a nice overview of all the appointments that are available for that service, and can then just choose the right one for them. So that's really an even more professional approach to go about this scheduling problem. And in fact, we already have a couple of financial advisories in that space that use that product. And maybe one of the next extensions will be some kind of resource scheduling. We don't know yet. We're currently collecting all the feedback of the users that we have and try to make sense of them and prioritize accordingly.
Very good. So let me ask you about some of the advanced features that Doodle supports. Is Doodle something that financial professionals can embed on their website, so visitors to the website can see the schedule rather than leaving to the Doodle page? And also, tell me about mobile devices. Can prospective meeting invitees use the Doodle calendar on their mobile device, like iPad, Android phone, and whatnot?
Mm-hmm. So in terms of integration, there's two options at the moment. One is to just use a plain old link or a button to link to your Meet Me or Book Me page. This will bring you, of course, to our page. And for those uses where you want to stay within the confines of your own website, you can use a simple iframe approach and incorporate the solution in there. That works. It's been used in a couple of cases. In terms of mobile, we have different options as well. The kind of default option is a mobile optimized website that we offer. So when you use Doodle on a smartphone, you get redirected to that optimized website. And also we have indeed native apps for iOS, which means iPhone and iPad. Also in terms of since you mentioned advanced features of Doodle, something that's very important to mention is calendar integration. So we offer integrations into a couple of calendars, such as Google Calendar or Outlook or iCal. And these features help you to make the process even more efficient, because you have your calendar information readily available, and it books tentative and final meetings into your calendar, so you don't double book your calendar.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. That's the solution that I've been looking for. That's what I had used with Tungle, was to synchronize the Tungle service with my Google Calendar, which is the primary calendar that I use. And I was scheduling some video interviews at a conference, and I actually used that connection to book about 15-minute time blocks for those interviews. And the moment that the interview was booked, that time disappeared from my public calendar, so I never double booked any of those interviews. Again, because when somebody confirmed that time, it disappeared from my availability, so the next subsequent person to choose times from my calendar never saw that booked time as being available, so they chose some other times.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a use case we often see. I use that use case too, for example, when I do interviews with job candidates or something like that. So that's a very common use case.
Now, Mike, tell me about, because Tungle just closed their service Monday, yesterday, in fact. Tell me about the sustainability of your service and your business model. You mentioned that I believe you've turned to a profitability business model a couple of years ago. So for doubting financial professionals that say, well, Tungle was bought, but then they were shut down, why should I bother using Doodle if they're just going to go, bankrupt or get shut down in the next couple of years? What can you say to help alleviate some of those fears?
Yeah, so we're pretty confident. As I said, we started in 2003, so we've been around for 10 years almost already. And ever since founding a business, a company around Doodle, we from day one we started thinking about a business model, a sustainable business model, and today we have a two-pronged business model. It's based on one hand on advertising, which is a driver to monetize on all the free and non-registered traffic that we see, and on the paid products such as Premium Doodle or BookMe. And with this business model, which is proven now for 2 or 3 years, we are very confident to be around for many years to come.
That's excellent, Mike. So for those financial advisors that may have used Tungle and now they're looking for an alternative, where can they find more information about services like Doodle and more information about Doodle specifically?
Well, it's as simple as going to doodle.com, and on the homepage we have all the other products readily linked. So the first and most important use case there is the group scheduling that you'll see first, but below that you see all the information about Meet Me, the one-on-one scheduling, the calendar integration, and the Book Me product. So it's all there, and if that doesn't work, just drop me an email.
Excellent, Mike. Now, the group scheduling and also the one-on-one scheduling, those are free products. You have a basic free product, correct?
Yes, they are free. So the group scheduling and the Meet Me and the one-on-one scheduling, they're totally free. With the group scheduling, you can, if you want to, upgrade to the premium service, which gives you a couple of additional features such as reminders and encryption and personalization of your web page. But the basic use case is free and unlimited.
Oh, that's great, Mike. So thank you for taking the time to meet with me out there in Switzerland, which is a fantastic use of technology just like this to be able to broadcast live on air from anywhere across the world. And thank you for sharing the information about Doodle and how financial advisors and financial professionals can use public calendars to minimize a lot of the back and forth to get meetings scheduled on their calendar.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thanks again, Mike, and everybody watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.